black fatigue. It's all over my FYP page. Thank you. I am so happy that this is being brought up. And oh, by the way, for us white people that have been around the block a long time, this isn't new to us. We've been dealing with this for over 40 years.
A white woman who was...
They're not even using black fatigue right. See, let me learn y'all something again. Black fatigue was actually in a book created by a black person. You want to know what happened? White people took it and spun it like they always do, taking shit. But they want to call black people the thieves, even though they stole land, they stole people, they stole power. Next up on the menu, we have black people are the most hated group in America. Oh, this is about to be juicy. Now, it's no secret. We all know that. Not just hated in America, but in all nations. You want to know why? It's thanks to America. The propaganda that's been built up on black people for millennia and years and years and years is what most people in other nations get fed about black people, and so they believe it. So it stems from ignorance and fear. When in reality, when you look into the actual statistics and everything, it's pretty funny. And we're gonna talk about some of those in this video. With all that being said, let's get about the video. Talk to me.
Let me say this clearly, because people love to pretend this isn't real. Black people are the most hated group in America.
True. That's true.
Somebody right now is racing to their keyboard, ready to hit me with the "y'all are always playing victim" type of.
Y'all black folks always trying to play victim. Such victim mentality. He has 20 bowlers, but sure you can't think it's because he's black. Stop with the poor me victim mentality. We had a black president. You are not oppressed. Accept it in your mind. Every black person thinks they are the first one to win an award. The victim mentality is crazy. You see how all these people barely have any likes? But besides that, if you share this belief, let me break it down for you. Who are the most arrested people in America? Black people. Who also have the highest exoneration rate in America, meaning they've been absolved of the crime they were arrested for. Black people. Now, if you look at the actual conviction rates of black and white people, because this is a black and white situation in America, at least, mostly, we commit about the same amount of crime per average. We commit about the same amount of crime, and it's fucking hilarious because you always have these fucking idiots, these slime balls pulling up statistics saying, "Oh, black people are the most arrested in America. They do the most crimes." We are the most policed people in America. We are the most arrested because we are the most policed. It all ties into each other, and we're also the most exonerated, meaning we get falsely arrested more. We get exonerated for our crimes, meaning we didn't fucking commit them. It's right there. So when you take a look at the actual statistics and not the FBI statistics for arrests, you need to look at the convictions, because the conviction is they've been found guilty. Okay? It's literally the same. If not, white people have more. And it's quite literally like that with almost every statistic. It's all bullshit. It's just been built up on a lie. And people believe this shit because I honestly don't know why they believe this shit. They choose to believe it, and they choose to think it's true. For the people that don't, you have my respect. The people that actually do the research, you have my respect. But this is something that people believe to be true about people of color. That's just how it is, and it couldn't be further from the truth. But let's get back into it.
I can feel you through the screen, little bro. Chill out. Because y'all gotta remember, hatred isn't just slurs or violence. It's narrative.
They say that we have a victim mentality when white people right now that are a part of that cult known as MAGA are running around here saying that they are oppressed, saying that they feel bullied or whatever by black people when they were the one that brought us over here. They were the one to steal the land from the Native Americans. They were the one to enslave people. They were the one to carry out all of these hate crimes and school shootings and all of that. Yet black people are the thugs. Black people are the dangerous people. You do know that you have a higher chance of being killed by a lightning strike or a white man than you do a black man. You do know that, right? Black people always are painted in this evil light, this evil fucking, oh, you should be afraid of us light. But we're also imitated. Don't you realize how modern Gen Z slang is just what black people have been saying for years now? Gang, unk, cook, let him cook. That was made by a black man. Gang, unk, all of that. Shit goes deeper, man. Let's keep going.
Blame, and how a country
let it rock
talks
for a
about
while.
you when you're not in the room. And in America, no group gets blamed, scrutinized, generalized, and villainized more consistently than black people. Gotta be honest, right? Every major issue in America somehow gets traced back to us. Whether it's crime, poverty, division, or the country falling apart, somehow it's
people not getting paid enough. Somehow we are the fault of that too.
always us.
Why do you think black people are 13% of the population, commit 50% of the crime, but only contribute 5% to the GDP?
They don't commit 50% of the crime. They are arrested 50% more than other people. We are also the highest exonerated. That tells you that we don't commit 50% of the fucking crime, bozo. If you're arrested and then you find out, oh, he actually didn't do it, let him free. Is that really you committing a crime? Dumbass? No. Do your research, dummy.
Black fatigue. It's all over my FYP page. Thank you. I am so happy that this is being brought up. And oh, by the way, for us white people that have been around the block a long time, this isn't new to us. We've been dealing with this for over 40 years.
A white woman who was...
They're not even using black fatigue right. See, let me learn y'all something again. Black fatigue was actually in a book created by a black person. You want to know what happened? White people took it and spun it like they always do, taking shit. But they want to call black people the thieves, even though they stole land, they stole people, they stole power. But whatever. They stole all that. I'm not saying all white people. You know exactly the ones I'm talking about. But with all that being in mind, they say black fatigue is people being tired of black people. Black fatigue's original definition is how black people are affected by quiet systemic racism and how it fatigues your mind. It makes you feel like you're not good enough. It makes you feel like you can't do anything. It fucks with your spiritual energy, which is the energy you need to use to change the world around you and change your perception of the universe, therefore changing the universe for yourself. That's what black fatigue in a nutshell is trying to was trying to express with that phrase. But as you know, the real thieves took it and spun it like they always do. They take our style, they take everything about us, and they want to be us, but at the same time they hate us and villainize us. It's really obsession. It's kind of gay, I'm not gonna lie. And that's okay.
Purchasing something inside makes the claim that a young black child sexually assaulted her.
That's right, the son grabbed my...
Surveillance video obtained by Pix11 from inside the Sahara Deli appears to vindicate the young boy, clearly showing him walking by, rushing out to leave with his family.
He didn't even do anything. See that shit?
Never oppressed anyone. People will bring up the African kingdom when they hear me say that, but it didn't create a world system where Africans dominated continents, extracted wealth worldwide, or enforced racial hierarchy. We don't have a history of colonizing countries.
You want to know the people that are accountable for creating the term of whiteness and white supremacy in the first place? It's the rich white people. You want to know what's the reason why poor white people and poor people in general and people of color don't get paid as much as they should? It's because of rich white people. All of this shit has been orchestrated, constructed by rich white people. And poor white people are so fucking stupid that still vote conservative. They're so fucking stupid that they think if they vote conservative, it will hurt us more and elevate them more. When what they really don't realize, it's gonna hurt everyone. Everyone who is not rich. Because whiteness is a hoax. It's a fallacy. Check this out. That white lady that was trying to get home from that ICE protest, they killed her. And you want to know what they said after they killed her? You have people like fucking Asmongold, the Roach King, trying to defend ICE for killing that innocent white lady. Calling her a terrorist, a thug, and whatever. You got people online that are a part of the cult calling her an N-word lover, ER lover. And basically, when you're a white person and you don't conform to this racial hierarchy, and you don't conform to this belief that you are supposed to be superior to everyone around you that is not white or straight, or is a man, when you don't conform to that, you are seen as just as bad as the people they tell you you're better than. You know, and want to know what that tells you? This shit is a hoax to begin with. It's a tool of hate. It's a double-edged sword that can be used against you and us. So why are we divided? Why do y'all hate us so much? The rich white people hate y'all just as much as they hate us. They just serve you a lie to make you think that you're better than us. That's all this shit is. And it doesn't take rocket science to understand that. It's just that people don't choose not to. They choose to be ignorant. Insane. Absolutely insane.
We didn't build empires off of genocide. We didn't steal land across the globe. And we definitely didn't enslave entire races of people. White America constantly shifts the narrative away from its own history and places it on us. Instead of dealing with colonial...
But at the same time, they don't want to tell our history as it actually is. Because slavery was way worse than you think it was. It was way worse. Like, way worse, gang. Like, I'm talking dehumanizing to the max. That shit was bad, really bad. But they don't want to teach that in the fucking books. They want it gone. They want it erased.
Slavery, genocide, exploitation, etc. The focus always becomes black crime, black culture, black behavior, black attitudes. Because if the country actually sat with the full history of white supremacy, not the brainwashed version that they tried to feed you, not just in America but globally, the whole system of white superiority would completely collapse. So
it would collapse because there is none to begin with. You need to realize white supremacy and white superiority only really applies to rich white people. So when you, as someone who is not a billionaire or millionaire, as a white person, wants to be a racist to people, wants to be a dickhead, misogynist, whatever, because most of the time homophobia, racism, misogyny, they go hand in hand. Because it's always the stupid, dumbass, blind shit of hate. You're just blinded by hate. And that shit poisons your mind. That's why I call it a sickness. Being racist poisons your mind. You just make your life way more inconvenient, way more harder than it needs to be. Same with being misogynistic. Same with being homophobic, transphobic, any of that. That shit poisons your mind because that's what's always on your mind. You're trying to avoid those people. You're making your life harder. You're fucking up your own energy. The only people you're hurting truly at the end the most is yourself. I hope you realize that, because when you vote for these policies, they are disguised with hurting colored people, but it hurts you too, dumbass. Don't you know that? When you vote for these policies, they're not just trying to squeeze money out of the black people. They're trying to do it to you too, because you're not rich. And whiteness, white superiority, all this shit, it's a fallacy. Why do you think they had indentured servitude back in the day? If you were truly better, you would never have been an indentured servant. But they did. If you don't know what indentured servitude is, Google it. I can tell you the simplified definition right now. It was basically white slavery, where you would get paid in schmeckles or not at all, just like the slaves. But you want to know what they did? They did away with it to serve you this lie that you still believe today. Okay? And if all of the marginalized people in the country were removed today, let's say they were Thanos snapped away, guess who becomes indentured servants again? You, big dog. Guess who are the new marginalized people and the people they point at as to why the country isn't doing good? You. That's how this shit works. Do you see how it cannibalizes itself and it falls apart? If everyone in the country was white, who would be superior? I wonder. who would be responsible for the problems, I wonder? Because the problems would still persist, most definitely. I would guarantee you that. If there is no one in the country for poor white people to feel, if there were no people in the country for poor white people to be made to feel superior to, you guys are the people that are the new bottom line. And that's what you're not realizing when you say you want everybody that's not white taken out of the country. Your fate ultimately is to be the new slave in America. That is what's gonna happen if this shit happens, which it won't. But that's what you're rooting for, basically. Self-destruction. You're fucking stupid.
Instead, black people get turned into the scapegoat. If they can successfully convince everybody that we're the biggest threat to society, then they don't have to question who.
And they have already successfully convinced people that black people are literally at the Akatsuki. That's what black people are. That's why black people love the Akatsuki so much, because they resonate with the story of the Akatsuki. If you don't know what that is, Naruto reference. But yes. Black people are literally the most hated group for reasons that oftentimes aren't even true. That's what's so funny about it. That's what's so hilarious. And if a white motherfucker does the same shit a black motherfucker did, they want to blame the individual. Let a black person do that. They want to blame the whole group of people as a whole. You see how hypocritical this shit is?
Them in the first place. So let's talk about history for one quick second, right? We all know slavery was horrific. And honestly, me saying that is an understatement. It wasn't just forced labor. It changed the entire balance of the world. It created wealth for white nations and instability everywhere else. Colonialism destroyed cultures, borders, language, all across Africa, the Caribbean, and Latin America, and Asia as well. As you know, millions of people died. But honestly,
Yeah, that's why I don't understand why other marginalized groups and other minorities try to be white. Check this out. Assimilation is always a hoax. It's always a fallacy as well, because you will never be white enough. That's the other thing. You trying to be MAGA as an Asian person, as a Latino person, as a fucking whatever. If you're not white, your skin isn't white, you will never be white enough. That's just how it goes. Nick Fuentes, who is a fucking a MAGA talker who doesn't really believe the shit he says because he's gay and he hangs out with cat boys and shit, but I'm gonna let that rock. Nick Fuentes, who is in the right-wing sphere, like the cultish right-wing sphere, I think there's a difference. Me personally, I think there's a difference between conservatives and MAGA. MAGA's a cult. Conservatives, they just like are right-wing. MAGA is a fucking cult. That shit is something different. And Nick Fuentes is MAGA. They are over there trying to defend the Epstein files. They are over there trying to defend that innocent white lady getting killed by ICE. Why do they have supporters? How can you sleep consciously knowing that that's the party you are for? How? Nick Fuentes, when he gets stopped by a cop and the cop is like, "You're a white supremacist, right?" He says, "No, my last name is Fuentes. I'm Mexican." You don't believe me? Go look it up. Go find the clip. He says that shit. He doesn't believe the shit he's saying. He's just appealing to poor white people because, unfortunately, poor white people make up the majority of MAGA, the majority of conservatives, and they also aren't that smart. Unfortunately, just like poor black people, they aren't that smart, and that's what they don't realize. The only difference is they think they are. They think they're better because they've been sold the lie. And they bought into it. But back to you other marginalized groups of people, like the Asians and the Latinos and the fucking Caribbean people that come here and all of that. You guys will never be white enough. They will never accept you either. The only reason why you're even able to come over here is because of black people. If black people weren't slaves in America, your ass wouldn't even be allowed over here if all that shit didn't happen. We fought for your rights and our rights too. So I don't understand why your dumb ass would get over here and then try to put down black people. That makes no sense. One, because you will never be white enough. They will never accept you. Two, because the reason why you're even here is because of the black people you put down so much. Kind of like the white people. The reason why they're so powerful is because of the black people they put down so much. Huh. But let's get back into it.
I don't want to focus too much on slavery in this video because that needs a whole other video dedicated towards it. Not just a quick 2-minute segment. You get what I'm saying? But
yeah.
Even after slavery, the violence didn't stop. For some reason, that just was not enough for them. If we totally disregarded all of the evil that was done to us, you'll start to notice a pattern throughout history.
But guys, we are the evil ones, right? Black people are so evil. They are villains. You should be scared of them. Not the scared of the ones who has a history of taking land from people, taking people from people, raping, pillaging, all of the 9 yards. You should be scared of the person who sags. Yeah, that's the real danger. Fucking get out of here.
We are not the only people that they have terrorized on a consistent...
Yes! They've terrorized all of you too. All of the other marginalized groups of people. They don't like you. They have a history of also doing some of the same shit, albeit a lot less worse, that they've done to black people to you too. That's why you will never be white enough. Because they've done it to you before and they will do it to you again. That's why you look so fucking stupid when you say shit like that.
Basis. Ours is way more consistent than other people's, but they do this to other groups as well. Of course it's not as bad. Nowhere near it. You got things like the My Lai massacre, where U.S. soldiers murdered unarmed Vietnamese civilians.
American soldiers gunned down more than 500 unarmed civilians in a village called My Lai. The dead were women, old men, children.
170 people were marched down in there. Women, old men, babies. GI stood up on the side with their weapons on full automatic and machine gun fire.
There were no weapons captured. There were no draft age males killed. They were civilians.
Nuclear testing on Bikini and Etowitok atolls, where indigenous people were displaced and poisoned for years. They literally tested nukes at their homes, bro. That's crazy. And after their homes were used for nuclear testing, they saw higher cancer rates, abnormal birth defects like extra fingers, extra toes, big heads, clear skin that you could see all of their organs through, and a lot of other horrific side effects that a lot of people don't want to talk about.
Some babies were born without limbs. There was an instant where there was a baby with no arms or legs and no head. The skin was transparent and they could see all the organs beneath the skin. This baby was born with white hair and no ears and no genitals.
You also have coups, invasions, and destabilization across the globe. Listen, I know a lot of y'all racists hate us, right? But y'all literally went into Venezuela and kidnapped their president. Y'all just said, forget sovereignty, huh? That's not even a thing no more, right? That's crazy. I want you to sit back and think about that for 1 second. What if another country invaded the U.S. and kidnapped our president? All feelings aside about how you may feel about him and his policies, right? Most of us here don't even see that as a possibility. So imagine if it became a reality. If something like that was even attempted, it would be an all-out war. And you know I'm telling the truth. Like, that's not crazy to y'all that y'all just went into another, and captured a president?
And y'all are defending this shit. Even celebrating it. When you, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's how I know you're just so stupid that you're blind. The America you're so patriotic for, those founding fathers would not agree with what you stand for now. They would not approve of it.
If that's wild. But when y'all do it, it's okay, right? That's real power abuse. But somehow black people are framed as the danger? That don't make sense. Now let's talk about violence, because people love to bring this up. Every time there's a crime involving a black person, it becomes a reflection of all of us. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be something petty, or it could be
let a white kid go up and shoot up a fucking school like they love to do. Oh, that person was just troubled. That person, whatever. It's personal. It's relegated to one person. But when the black people do that, see, this is why black people always... Shit is weird, huh?
something major. But when violence comes from somebody in the white community, it's a lone wolf, mental health, an isolated incident, right? It's different then.
Adam Lanza shot and killed 20 first graders and 6 educators. The report says he had profound mental, emotional, and developmental challenges.
He had a history of mental illness and had become physically aggressive, throwing a chair and glass across the room.
Card was experiencing an acute mental health episode in the months before Wednesday's massacre.
Most of the mass shooters in this country are white males, but nobody says white culture is violent. No one blames white communities as a whole. And no one suggests that white people need to do better as a group. We just send our thoughts and prayers to the victim and keep it pushing until the next tragedy happens. No accountability at all. And that tells you everything you need to know about the double standard. If most of them were black, oh my goodness, it would have been total, they would have been losing it. It would have been crazy, right? In my opinion, black people in America are easy to hate for one reason. Just us being here contradicts their entire narrative. This country loves to talk about freedom, but while it was being built, we were enslaved the whole time. It likes to talk about equality like it was always meant for everyone, but we were deliberately excluded from it and still are to a certain degree. And it talks about justice even though the legal system has historically been used to criminalize us instead of protecting us. Our existence exposes their lies. So instead of fixing the system, it just attacks the people that expose it. What also makes people uncomfortable is the fact that despite everything that was done to us, Jim Crow, slavery, redlining, mass incarceration, environmental racism, and other things that are still being done to this day, we did not disappear. We're still here. And instead of acknowledging our existence, America just framed it into entitlement and victimhood. But victims don't.
Yeah, you call us victims. Check this out. You call us victims when you don't realize we are resilient warriors. We've withstood all of your cruelty. Right face to face next to you. Withstood all of your cruelty. Fought for the rights of others who came to this country who still looks down on us. Black people are the most hated group in the world. Close second is Mexicans and Indians. But black people mostly are the most hated group in the fucking world. We are the most villainized and the most afraid of. And it's all because of the propaganda and the lies that have been pushed on our name and the erasure of our history. But not in the erasure of white history too. See, they didn't just erase our history. They erased white history too. What they've done. The tragedies. Christopher Columbus discovered America. He found it. It was already discovered. Yet we are the villains. We are the villains because of how? You have committed way more tragic acts that you still are committing to this day. Yet black people are the villains. Black people are the ones to be scared of and feared. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And yet we're still victims too. Even though we are actually victims. We are. It's not a victim mentality. We are victims of what you have done. We really are. But we are also resilient victims. We're still here. And we know what you did. Just because we won't let you forget doesn't make us have a victim, woe is me mentality. No. It means that you want your shit washed away and you want us to forget what you did. But we won't.
Get blamed for everything in society. Targets do. Y'all gotta understand. America needs black people to be seen as the villain. This is very necessary for them because if we aren't, then the system has to explain itself. And once people start asking who made the rules, who controls resources, who benefits, that's when things start to get uncomfortable for them.
I say it all the time. In my previous video, I said it. You want to focus on black people, but you don't want to focus on the billionaires that hold majority of the wealth in the country. And is the reason why you have to live on welfare as a white guy. Or a white person, I should say. But you're supposed to be better than black people. Yet you are in the same exact situation as us. Isn't that kind of weird as to how that happens? Black people have been successfully propagandized They have been successfully put down. Yet, you still are poor. Why is that? Is it because we exist? Fear doesn't make you make less money. Them being scared of us doesn't make them make less money. That's not how that works. It's the billionaires in the system that has been fucking you this whole time, and you don't realize it. You would rather accept the comfortable, easy truth of, oh, that black man over there is the reason why I don't get paid enough. The women working is the reason why I don't get paid enough. That gay person over there is the reason why I don't get paid enough. That Asian, that Mexican, that whatever. Anybody that's not white and straight. Why? Because you've been sold on a lie that whiteness is the reason why you're better and why you shouldn't be. But yet you are. Isn't that crazy? If you are better, why aren't you getting better? You don't get treated better. You get treated better by some extenuating circumstances that are specifically aimed at harming black people more. But in the grand majority of cases, you are often in the same situation of the people you hate so much. Isn't that kind of stupid to you? Kind of wild? Well, if I'm better than black people, why am I more poor than them? Why am I on welfare just like them? Why that I claim that they are? Why am I still stuck in my town and I don't want to be here, just like many black people that share the same fate? If you were truly better, the indentured servitude would have never been a thing. And you would not be in the situation you are in right now. You want to know why you are in that situation? It's not because of black people. It's not because of these marginalized groups. That's a fallacy they sold you to keep us divided. And you are eating it up because that's comfortable. That's a comfortable thing to do. Rather than to look upward and see that the billionaires have their cock out with no condom ready to slap your face with it. And that's what it is.
Because they lose control over the narrative. So instead of dealing with that, it's just easier for them to put the blame on us. That narrative makes it easier for them to justify a lot of things that they do. Even if it's complete BS, it don't matter. It's how environmental racism keeps happening, for example, without people noticing or even making a big deal about it. It's why toxic sites get placed near black neighborhoods, why polluted water gets ignored, and why our communities are treated like they're disposable. If black neighborhoods are already seen as the problem, then neglect doesn't look like neglect anymore. It just looks normal. And harm doesn't look like harm. It looks justified. So the focus stays on us instead of the policies and decisions that put us in those conditions in the first place.
And a lot of white people are also in those conditions as well. But you're better.
See how that works? And that same mindset spills over into everything else that we deal with. Policing, schools, housing. As long as we're framed as the problem, the system never has to take accountability or responsibility for the damage that is caused to our communities.
And that's how it is. You let me know what you think. Do you not agree? I don't know how you don't agree. You must be one of the ones that think that, hey, I am still better because I am white. You wasn't listening to what I was saying then if you still think that. But with all that being said, 1,000 thanks for watching. We don't need to be divided anymore. We have a clear enemy. We know who's been fucking us. Have a better day than me.